You're listening to the Agony Column News Report featuring interviews, phone interviews, reports from live book events and festivals, and conversations with readers. You can find additional news, interviews, book reviews, and more 5 days a week at the Agony Column website at trashotron.com/agony. Charles Burns is a graphic artist and graphic novelist. He's the author of Big Baby, El Borba, Skin Deep, and Black Hole. His new trilogy began with X'd Out. His newest book is The Hive. Chris Ware is the graphic novelist and author of the Acme Novelty Library, Jimmy Corrigan, Smartest Kid on the Earth, Quimby the Mouse, and Rusty Brown. His latest book is a box set of the comics that comprise building stories. Thank you for joining me, Charles.
Thanks.
And Chris.
Thank you very much for having me. Us, I should say, collectively.
Gentlemen, we spoke yesterday, and one of the things that struck me when I was thinking about your work is the color palette that you both use and the way you both use this color palette. And one thing that interested me is that you both read comics when you were growing up, and they had a very, I think, different color palette. And I'd like you to talk about how you chose your color palette. And I think they're not dissimilar. There's a kind of a nice light touch of pastelish to both of your color palettes. I'd like you to each talk about how you developed that and how you chose it and how you use it. Charles, you're newest at this, I guess, so tell us about colors in X'd Out and The Hive.
Yeah, I mean, I've used color for my illustrations, but I've worked primarily in black and white with my comics. When I was growing up, yeah, the mainstream American comics that I read were, you know, just very primary colors that were thrown onto very cheap paper, and they were meant to be in color. Yeah, they were in color, but some of them were pretty nasty. And the color comics that I looked at that really had an influence on me and are influencing these two books would be the Tintin books that I grew up with, and that, on the other hand, was like beautifully colored, beautifully printed. The original color was actually done with watercolors, done kind of a traditional technique of layering watercolors. So they're very subtle. I can't even talk. Subtle painterly effects that he was able to achieve. There was primarily flat color, but you could have very nice tints of color, and it I know that he had a staff that helped him with his color, that he had people whose own...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?